All right. So I got some notes. I got a lot of notes. I've been thinking a lot. And this is kind of going to be my first little YouTube rant video, getting stuff off my chest. I think a lot all the time. I'm thinking. I may not seem like, I may not look like, the type of guy who does this and that or whatever, but I'm really into, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try to be or whatever, right? So I got some notes that I've been thinking about. This is just something I just conjured up real quick. Nothing crazy, but definitely some things I want to talk about. Man, my hair kind of getting in the way right now. First is I made my own kind of mindset. I could say, I guess. It's called Bare Mind, and it's basically your mind without a filter. You know what I mean? Just raw thoughts, just like being, instead of being like just being what people told you that you were, what the world says you are. You know what I mean? I say right here, I said, you're not your thoughts. You know what I mean? You're not your thoughts. Whoever said that you are your thoughts? Like, we just all of a sudden believe that. You know what I mean? But then if you really think about it and you look at your thoughts and you introspect yourself, you know what I mean? You start to understand that really you're not. Really, most of your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions are really like from the culture around you. You know what I mean? Let's say you're born in a different culture. Well, then stuff changes. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Different language. If you speak a different language, you're more entitled to feel a certain way about, you know what I mean? Like, there's love languages, you know what I mean? There's nicer ways to say stuff, whereas like other languages that are ruder, and that makes you feel something different in your mind, you know what I mean? And then that messes with your different brain signals. So you're really not even your thoughts, it's really a facade. So that's something I've conjured up. You're not, you were born just pure awareness, just pure, just looking around awareness. You saw things, you saw people, you saw a black guy, a white guy, and the only difference you saw in them is their skin color. You know what I mean? You didn't see a difference in, like, their morals, their values, anything that you see, like, now. You just immediately, okay, well, I should watch, or maybe I shouldn't. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. Though, because, those are your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. It's all of that stuff that it just isn't you. So that's pretty powerful. Not reacting isn't weakness, but clarity. There are times definitely where some people, make you mad or do a certain thing, or sometimes it's a good thing, you know what I mean? Sometimes something good happens in your life. Which then, I feel like you should say, you know what I mean, thanks or whatever. But not reacting isn't weakness, but clarity. Something bad happens in your life, or someone does you the wrong way or whatever. You not reacting and moving on, or something bad happens in your head. Immediately, I'm feeling this way. My emotions are tensed up. All this. Well, you know what I mean? You're not really all that either. You're not your emotions. Separate you from your emotions, and you can start reading your emotions, and then you can start shaping what you want to do with your emotions. You know what I mean? And your feelings, etc. Like, okay, so you need to, because whatever is like the root of you that's just seeing these emotions is actually you. You're not the emotions yourself itself. So you have to be that tree, you have to be that root. And see your emotions, and then you can judge what you want to do with those emotions. You can or cannot react. You know what I mean? Then you have a choice that gives you the clarity to do what you want. That's real, like, introspection. You really gotta, very important in life, introspection. I said, don't need to win arguments, just keep your mind intact, keep yourself sane. That's exactly kind of what I said. It's more about you. When people say something about you, or, talk say something rude or, you know, just whatever, if you kind of trace it back to, well, something is also, you know, could just be wrong in their life, and there's, in a way, projection, then you start to see the full picture, the bigger picture, because then it all makes sense. Now we go back into business. So I watched this video recently. It said, I think I learned how to actually make money, lol, or something like that. Like a 9-minute video. I will look it up on YouTube. He would probably explain it better than I am. Basically, ask a niche, the stuff they struggle with, like, let's say a gym owner, get a bad gym owner and a good gym owner. You see the difference and you apply it, right? So let's say, well, EOS or something, you know what I mean? Like some of these bigger companies, well, you have that, but then you also have smaller gym companies. Well, why are people going to EOS but not, let's say, Planet Fitness or something like that? There's reasons to it. Or let's look at even like TikTokers, Instagram, you know what I mean? Something like that. I didn't even think about this until just right now, but I have a friend, I'm going to college, and I have a friend that she does TikTok, or used to do TikTok all the time. And I put her on with this idea of this really like good song that, you know, went with the times. Like it was about Iran. Like let me just talk about it. It was about Iran. You should you know what I'm saying? And so from there, she saw the video, she saw the song and everything, and she liked it. And used it. You know what I'm saying? She used it. She definitely... Or no, she didn't use it. That was the problem. She didn't use it. She didn't want to use it. But it was like a really good song that would have like I could see I could see a TikToker like going crazy on it. Like I could literally envision it. So I sent it to her or whatever. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So like a small guy, small TikToker will put you on a really good song that fits the trend of right now. That could go huge. If the song goes huge, then that means you go huge because you made, you know, you were on that song. You know, your TikTok was at least. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to start applying it, seeing the flaws in different things. And left versus right. Oh, wait. Most opinions are recycled. Let's go into politics. Most opinions in politics are recycled talking points. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You look at it how it is, and you'll see it clearly. Clearly now the rain is gone, you know? You'll see it. Most people don't do their research. Most people just look at the news and take it and run with it without doing the research, and then that makes them look stupid later on when they get, you know, proven wrong or something happens, or they get someone in office, or a certain bill passed, or this and that, and it has bad consequences. So that's the problem. Opinions are recycled. Don't fall for talking points. You need to actually look and do your own research. I said right here, left versus right compared to, do I really believe that? Like I'm saying, do your own research. Do not just be conjured up in these talking points. You know, people you like in politics could still do wrong things. And the opposite, you know what I mean? People you really hate in politics could be actually fighting for you or doing something for you, and you're not even listening because you're just in a hive mind. You're in a tribal mindset. And I can't fully blame you for that because, I mean, we are animals. You know, we used to be tribes. That's how all of human life has always been. We're still really in tribes, countries, you know what I mean? Ethnicities and this and that. We still separate each other into not just saying we're the human race. The human race is so complicated too, bro. We're animals. We think like animals. We've always been animals. And for us to think that in the last, like, you know, ever since World War II or whatever, that, you know, we're just going to be in a constant state of peace and everything is going to be fine, it's just not true. We're thinking like we're in a fairy tale world and all this, and it's just not. It's just not true. It's not true at all. A lot of bad stuff happens. Our brains are food and repopulate the world, repopulate myself, grow, divide, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're supposed to do. Okay? So when you have really intellectual thoughts and stuff about, like, like something out of the ordinary, people aren't, first of all, gonna really understand because they don't do the research, because it's not in them to just immediately hop on something like that. So that's a problem. You know what I mean? That sucks when it comes to, like, communicating, big, grandiose ideas and thoughts to people. It really does a disservice. I said there was a Instagram post. I think it said 10 people arrested after people raided an ICE facility. And it got an officer shot in the neck. I looked at the comments. Free them, free them, free them, free them, free them. I think this was the third comment. It said, this just shows me that we're all, like, we all think the same, like we're all together or something. Like, I am so, like, that is crazy. How are y'all celebrating something like that? You feel me? Okay, it's cool, you feel me? You don't like ICE, I understand. Like, I don't understand genuinely why immigration, customs enforcement, why you would hate them. Do you not like people not, being here legally? And that goes into a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? You need illegal people in your country. There's a reason why everything is so high. There's a reason why I forgot what they call it, but it's like, the stuff that we, Medicare and Social Security, the stuff we always spend on, they have a name for it. And I'm surprised that people don't understand that Social Security, is going to go down in, like, 5 to 10 years, because we have fraudulent payments to it. You know what I mean? There's more money going out of it than going in. So, I mean, it's a lot going on. So we need to lock in and figure this out. But without that rant about that, speaking of ICE itself, ICE just does what his job. But when you celebrate people getting shot in the neck, right? Free them. Like, are you fucking serious? This is crazy shit. And then that, really niche out of the water, like, what the fuck thing happened. Now people see that, and then they think everyone thinks like that, what makes them more inclined to also act like that. You know what I mean? It's a snowball effect. It gets worse and worse and worse. And it's not good at all. It's not good for our communities. It's not good for our, ICE soldiers. It's not good for anybody. Everyone is less safer when you have an ICE tracker, app. And it tells you where ICE is. It tells you where basically the police are. Like, imagine an app other than, like, Waze that tells you, like, when you're driving. That's different. You're not using it for malice intent. This right here could be used for malice intent. They just if they're gonna shoot a dude, you best believe that there's gonna be someone who could put a pipe bomb down or something. You open the door, ICE guy opens the door, your whole squadron is blown up into pieces. You know what I mean? Like, this is real life guerrilla warfare shit that we need to figure out and solve, because if this shit gets, I feel like people are too nice, and if this shit gets blown out the water out of proportion and goes crazy, it could go really, really bad, and bad for everybody. So let's go ahead and solve this out. Don't say free them. It's not cool. They need to, be taught a lesson. It's not cool to be doing that shit. And we need to have morals and shit. Y'all have lost y'all's morals. I'm trying to tell y'all. Black culture has serious problems. This also ties into black culture. Just minority culture in general. Hatred of people has always in history made you do crazy things. You know what I mean? You get some propaganda. You get really good propagandists. This is why it's so smart to have propagandists, or people who can control the sway of things, because they can get people to your side, or they can get people away from another. My fault, y'all. I'm just waking up, probably not even an hour ago, waking up, and I had to get this out for y'all, man. I had to. I really felt like I'm doing a disservice not sharing my thoughts out loud to everybody. Not saying that like I'm that guy or whatever, but we can build up on this. And we could. This isn't just one video now, but the second video and the third video a little after that, and the fourth video after. This is stepping up to something. Black culture has a lot of problems, man. Black culture seems pretty lost in America sometimes. I don't like that we look up at role models that shouldn't be looked up at, and to make fun of people that shouldn't be made fun of. It's the very opposite. I'm going to a predominantly black, I'd say, college in about a month, and I just want people to be chill and shit. Like, I don't like the ghetto-ness, and I think I'm not the only black guy to say that, or black person to say that. Like, it's just tiring, bro. Sometimes I want to wake up and not hear your music. You feel me? Or some shit like that. Like, people just want to be left alone. Treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? And in me saying this, there's going to be could it be some black people who were clowning me for saying something like this. Well, you're also part of the problem. You're part of the black culture problem. You know what I mean? We need to stop making fun of people who are having intellectual and, are trying to scale up this community compared to rappers and porn stars and OnlyFans models. You know what I mean? Rappers who say sex, money, and drugs. Literally all they say is like rock and roll, you feel me? But just so much worse, because it is our culture. We let it be our culture damn near. Like, hip hop is still, not hip hop, R&B is still big or whatever, but rap is, hip hop is kind of like our bread and butter, which is good. Like, most of my playlist is hip hop, right? But there's a difference from making that, just having that in your playlist compared to like acting out those thoughts, you know what I mean? Or acting out what's in that song. You need more control for that. You need a lot more control, mentally. And that's why people get carried away with dumb shit. You know what I mean? I have a friend right now. Now, he's Mexican. You know what I mean? But this is just, I'm not gonna call anybody out at all. Make this very broad. I have a friend and his girl. They just took 2 pregnancy tests. Both were positive. Looked it up, 99%, rate of them being real tests and it actually being a real diagnosis for the homemade pregnancy test. 99%. So twice he's cooked. So, he's trying to figure it out. But he's young, bro. He's a little younger than me. And it's sad. Because I could have been like that, you know what I mean? But I made sure I kept my my virginity to myself. And to this day, you know what I mean? I got that in. Because the poom, bro, nothing is worth, having kids really young. I have a family friend who he had he was like, 21 or 22, and he had 2 twins, 2 girls, 2 twins, with just a friend. Like, this is just literally his friend that he messed with like 1 or 2 times, and they had a kid, man, and that's how it is. And okay, you're 21, well, she don't want to pay okay, well, now you gotta pay child support. Okay, well, you still gotta pay the hospital bill. He's still paying that off to this day. He just stopped paying the child support because you know, the requirements were gone. But when it comes to the hospital bill, he's still paying it to this day. That's crazy. Just think about how much money he could have had saved and could have done something with if he didn't just make that mistake so many years ago. You know, you can't have all this baggage really young, and that's what I told my friend. Um, it's hard to get out of that when you're there. Not saying you can't at all. You definitely can. If anything, it makes you want to do it more. You have a kid, and it gives you that willpower. You feel me? But you know, I wouldn't know personally, but I would think. So that's really big. That's definitely really big. You need to lock in. You feel me? You need to not let the culture and not let and not let your feelings and thoughts and your emotions, like I said, get the best of you, and you start doing things that you really wouldn't do any other time. Because right now, oh my God, I just want to, you know what I'm saying? But 5 minutes later, well, okay, I don't have that thought no more. I don't want to. No baby fever. Let me just say that. Like, oh, I don't have baby fever anymore. You know, so stuff like that changes. It's bad, and you know, women are emotional creatures. First, you know, emotion versus logic, or before logic versus logic for emotion. For guys, they're emotional versus logic. This is like before logic. This isn't sexist or anything. This is just how men and women think differently. And so if they're thinking, you know, just randomly, oh, I want to, you know what I mean? Then you're also going to be more inclined to do it, you know, if she's wanting to. And of course, you know how men are, you know, you're in that mode, you'll do whatever she wants. And that's kind of what happened with my friend, bro. I mean, he was telling me about that. So it really gets to this level where it scales up and up and up, and you really think it doesn't. This is all I have. Not too much today. I mean, I literally woke up. I had ChatGPT help me. So this is it, man. Tomorrow will be another video, more than likely, because I have a lot of thoughts all the time, but I don't want to make them very too much. I'm not even sure what I'll call this video, what I'll name this video, but I'm just very happy that I was able to kind of release some thoughts. And even this I didn't fully get out because, you know, you forget things halfway and this and that. But that's what the second and third and fourth video is for. Another thing is Forex trading. Start your Forex trading, man. Lock in, learn how to do that. I got a really good friend who was a year above me. And I got a new phone. And so I lost his number because I didn't save it for some reason. And he just randomly texted me like a week ago, and this is about the Forex trading. I've been Forex trading myself, but he's been scaling up, like I'm saying, scaling up and up. He's been doing really good at this. And so, you know, he's helping me out tremendously right now. You know, really good guy, really cool dude. These are the friends that you want in your life. You feel me? So that's how you do it. And until next time, bro, you know what I'm saying? We on the YouTube-ish. That's what we're doing now, I guess. Yeah, man. I will see y'all. Peace. Like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? All of that.